Joining me now, Fox Business correspondent Madison Alworth, Big Money Show co-host Taylor Riggs. And I got to say, well, let's start with the market for a moment because it's not in a fighting mode, right?
No.
In part because you got Musk, Vivek, you got RFK Jr., and I got to tell you, Taylor, the street's taking this seriously now. They're like, they mean business.
So I like this. I love government efficiency. I love cutting spending. But the problem is what we've been talking about with the labor market. Who's been propping up the labor market has been government jobs and government spending. So I think this is just the street sort of figuring out, OK, if we really are cutting $2 trillion from a $6.5 trillion budget, what does this look like? What does this mean? So you're getting sort of a reset. But I would also caution viewers, as you know, the market's had a big run up. So maybe some of this, too, is some profit taking and digesting what this Trump rally really means.
You know, Madison, and we had a chart here, the true size of government, because you hear a lot of folks say, well, government hasn't really grown. If you take into contractors, grant workers, it's huge. And it's a hidden cost to taxpayers.
Absolutely. It's a hidden cost to taxpayers. And the reality is so much of the economy has been propped up by these government jobs. So if you're bringing in people that say they're going to slash those jobs, cut the budget, you do see the reaction in the market. But if the market is also not Main Street, and the reality is that the market has been reacting to the election, now to this news, it needs to just kind of settle out. And I think we're still going to have an upswing overall during a Trump presidency.
Do you think watching that thing in New Zealand that the party that loses the election should be allowed to go out like that?
So, okay, so let's just taking a step back and just looking at it. It was pretty cool to watch. The haka is an incredible dance. That's what like their rugby team does. It is a very traditional dance for the Maori people in New Zealand. However, despite how cool it looked, I do think there needs to be decorum in spaces where we make decisions about the law. So I loved watching it, but I do think decorum is
I didn't
needed.
know you were so, so highbrow.
Uppity.
Excuse me.
My only comment to that, and I agree with decorum, except that if this is the only way to get us talking, and that's what we're doing, we're talking about it, did they fulfill their mission, right? When we talk a lot about the protesters who take to the streets and the climate protesters throwing paint on old, pretty paintings, right?
Same, huh?
But you're getting the attention, and if that's the goal, then it works.
Madison says it's uncivilized. Okay.
It is. You're right. Yes, thank you, Charles.
So for all of the fight talk in America, I was shocked when I read that we had a record number of people who didn't vote this time around, Taylor.
Shocking. What is it, 92 million, 91 million
number.
People who did not vote? Look, we're always going to have people that don't vote, but this is our civic duty, right? This is what we have to do to get out there and vote. I will say, though, that we did get more people voting, right? 75 million people voted for Trump. We've talked a lot about he was one of the first in decades to get the popular vote. So I think, again, it's all about the messaging. I will say I think Republicans did a greater job on messaging, on getting out to vote this time around, much more than the Democrats did.
It's interesting because we had record high turnout. Something we heard leading into the election was that people were upset with both candidates, especially when it was Trump Biden. There was the talk of like, is this the best that we can do? So I think in general in American politics, it's easy to complain. It's harder to act. We saw good numbers this year. It can always be better, but I'm going to look at the positive side of, and Taylor was kind of saying this, we still got more people out, and that is a win.
All right, so speaking of fighting, the big fight is tonight, right? Everyone's pumped up. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Take a look at this. This really pumped up the volume. Take a look at this. Everyone's talking about that, right? Apparently, Jake Paul stepped on his toe, whatever. I think, right, you know, who knows?
If you step on my toe, am I slapping you on air?
No, but Taylor, you're also not going to train like Mike Tyson.
But also, Mike Tyson would, though, be part of a haka on the floor of the U.S. It's like he's got a different mentality.
Yeah.
So what do you make of this then, Madison?
I mean, okay, yeah, if this segment is about getting people to talk, we're watching a bunch of talkers, and that's good. It just drums up. We're talking about a fight tonight. This
Are you going to watch it?
I will not watch it.
You're not?
Heck yes, I'm watching.
No,
this is a 58-year-old against a 27-year-old. This is incredible.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want Mike Tyson to go out there and knock a huge bomb.
That's right.
I want Tyson to win.
Right.
The violence, it's too much for me.
Oh, it's a regular.
I'm too dainty.
Uppity.
I know, golly.
No fighting.
I mean, what are you going to have, a tea party while everyone is watching this?
Yes, please.
So there was another, Tyson was interviewed by a young reporter, I think she was in her teens, and the answer he gave her on legacy, take a listen to this because I don't think it's what she was expecting.
After such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done? Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Okay.
Did you see her face?
Well, I like that he puts the longevity into perspective. We're particles and dust on a billion year.
But our memories, though, and what we do and our legacy, I mean, and the little girl, I mean, she's got nothing to look forward to.
I feel like as interviewers, I would be shocked by that, and I'm not like 16. So I give her credit because she held it together, because that is a big, lofty answer. I agree with a lot of what he said, but yeah, at 16, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about your legacy.
I mean, golly, I mean, I'm surprised she didn't cry. Like, I mean, there are a lot of people up there like, damn, Mike. I mean,
I know.
That was rough. And we talk all the time. Think about Jay Powell. Jay Powell's fighting tooth and nail for his legacy. Donald Trump, he wants to leave a legacy. I don't know if you don't believe in legacy. To me, particularly if you're working for other people, I don't know if you can get the job done.
Okay, well said.
I disagree. The reason that Mike is fighting tonight is because he doesn't believe in legacy. He already has a legacy. He's already known as one of the greatest boxers to ever grace this earth.
Right.
He has nothing to prove. I mean, $20 million doesn't hurt.
Yeah, don't hurt.
But that's someone who doesn't believe in legacy, that's making changes, going after things, because he's going to continue to fight.
But would you want someone
literally
working for you if they didn't believe in legacy, like it's no big deal one way or the other?
I think so, because I think the average American, I mean, this is, again, very philosophical. I think the average American doesn't care about legacy. They want to live a good life, make a good impact, bring home a good dollar. So if you care in your family and the dollar, I'm happy with that.
I like that he compared it to ego and realizes he's a speck in the long-term plan.
Well, I can tell you,
Charles, like, we're both fired.
I can tell you someone who's got an amazing legacy, and that's our colleague, Liz Clayman.
Wait a minute, aren't legacies for people who are about to
Well, we're building it daily. We're building we're building on it daily.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much.